and recognize Vice Chair Harris Davila to explain the bill. Chairman Bill offers a committee substitute to HB 3807.
Thank you, Chairman Longoria and members. Today, I would like to lay out HB 3807, which relates to establishing a child care services waiting list, prioritizing the children of child care workers. As evidenced by some committee hearings we had during the interim, there's a significant issue with child care workers being able to attain child care for their own children. HB 3807 was drafted in order to address this issue, and it uses existing resources to establish a priority list for child care workers who are seeking child care placements for their own children. The differences between the bill and the committee substitute are as follows. The committee substitute moves responsibility of the priority designation from a local workforce development board to the Texas Workforce Commission. It clarifies that an individual who's found ineligible during redetermination shall have just their priority status changed or removed, not their services terminated. And finally, the committee substitute clarifies that owners of child care facilities, if their child is not receiving services at their facility, shall be eligible if they meet the other criteria. Thank you, members. I think we have a couple witnesses, but I will respectfully reserve my right to close.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Members, are any questions? No further questions. We'll proceed to testimony. Thank you. Chair calls Megan Morrow. We show you registered as Megan Morrow. I'll be Executive Vice President and Chief of Staff for the Texas Association of Business, testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that
Please
is
proceed.
correct. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Vice Chair, for your work today in this committee. And always, my name's Megan Morrow. I'm here testifying in support of HB 3807. And we thank Vice Chair Harris Davila for your work on this bill. TAB is an executive committee member for the Employers for Child Care Task Force, along with the Texas Restaurant Association, Early Matters Texas, and Texas 2036. We have over 70 companies, chambers, and organizations that are also a part of the coalition. And this is one of the priorities that we are proactively working on. And so the representative explained it very well. This is just making sure that we are removing barriers for child care workers to get on the list to receive the benefits that they're already qualified for child care. So we support access to quality and affordable child care as part of our education and workforce initiatives. And we think this proposal is a win for Texas families and businesses. So thank you for your work and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, members. Any questions? Appreciate your testimony.
Thank
You
you.
very much. Chair calls Wendy Uptain. We show you registered as Wendy Uptain on behalf of Early Matters Texas and yourself, testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks, Chairman Longoria, and thank you for your leadership with this bill. I represent Early Matters Texas. We are a statewide organization where we have deep roots. We work with nonprofits, we work with philanthropy, we work with school districts, business leaders all across the state on early ed, birth through 8. And we really strongly believe that access to high quality child care in particular is what propels our state's economic development. I could go into it, but really what it comes down to is early education is what supports the workforce of today while developing the workforce of tomorrow. And that's why, and Megan shared this so nicely about the Employers for Child Care Task Force, or E4C. It's one of the reasons why I co-founded that in partnership with TAB, the Texas Restaurant Association, and Texas 2036. Like Megan said, I think we're at 80 now. I think we've got 80 businesses who are now part of that, and it really represents associations and businesses from all across Texas. Greater Houston Partnership to Coterra to Fly Right Chicken are a whole part of this. And it's really, we just keep hearing from all these companies saying there is a common theme, and it is having their employees have access to childcare. And so right now in our state, we've got about 80 available workers for every 100 open jobs. And 60% of non-working parents say that childcare is the top reason why they're not in the workforce. With this, E4C and the task force, we have been researching best ideas here in Texas from other states and trying to pull on from that to develop a really strong agenda. And this bill, I think 3807 in particular, is it's a high impact, low cost solution. Like you said, it's within existing resources. It really acts as a powerful multiplier effect. And you'll get to hear in a minute from Toya, and then there are a few other providers I think who submitted written testimony about how this in particular will benefit their small businesses because of the help that it will provide to the workers who are employed by them. So, and just in quick closing here, I just am excited about this bill. This would be an investment in stabilizing the childcare workforce, which in turn stabilizes our entire workforce, and really hope that you guys will support this. And I appreciate your time and consideration this morning.
Thank you. Members, any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chair calls Latoya Mayberry. We show you registered Latoya Mayberry on behalf of Toya's Precious Jewels and yourself testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Please proceed.
Good morning, Chairman Longoria and the Workforce Committee. Thank y'all so much for having me this morning. My name is Latoya Mayberry. I'm owner, operator, and CEO of Toya's Precious Jewels Academy of the Permian Basin in Midland, Texas. And I'm here to speak in support in favor of House Bill 3807. I've dedicated my career to early childhood education, working in this field for 16 years. I see firsthand the challenges that both families and child care providers face in securing reliable, high-quality care. I'm here today to express my strong support for House Bill 3807, which will ensure that working parents, particularly those in the child care field, can access the assistance they need without unnecessary delays. Just last week, I had an employee who was scheduled to return from maternity leave. She qualified for a child care scholarship. Now, luckily, our board doesn't currently have a wait list, so she was able to get assistance. If that scholarship had not been in place, she could not have come back to work. In an industry like ours, where maintaining proper staff-yield ratios is critical, this has a strong ripple effect and could have forced us to close a classroom or not even open a classroom, disrupting care for multiple families. Another employee of mine faced an even greater challenge. She became pregnant and was eligible for our state's child care assistance program, but under the current system, she could not apply until her baby was born. When her baby arrived 3 weeks early and had to spend time in the NICU, she was placed on the child care scholarship waitlist for assistance. By the time her maternity leave ended, she still was waiting for child care coverage. To ensure she could return to work, I made the decision to ensure that her child had absolutely no costs, and so I provided care for her child and didn't make her pay anything. And I know it wasn't a sound business decision, but every single one of my employees is very valuable to me as well as my families, and so I thought it was the best solution for the time. If we do not support our child care workforce, we risk losing the very people who make quality early education possible. This isn't an isolated issue. I could share countless examples of child care workers with young children and babies who qualify for child care scholarships. The scholarship program is invaluable for us to maintain our staff, who in turn provide care for our entire community. The waitlist time for child care scholarship varies in our region. Sometimes there are no wait lists at all, and other times it can be months long. In child care, months matter, and weeks really matter. Delays of even a week or two can mean the difference between retaining a trained, experienced caregiver or losing them altogether. That's why I'm here today to urge you guys to support House Bill 3807, which will ensure that child care workers are a priority in receiving child care scholarships for their own children. When we strengthen access to child care, we strengthen our economy by ensuring the parents can remain in the workforce and child care centers can continue operating at full capacity. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much. Members, any questions? Thank you for making the trip from Midland.
Thank you.
Chair calls Reagan Miller. We show you registered as Reagan Miller, Director of Child Care for the Texas Workforce Commission, testifying neutral to the bill. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Members, any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to testify on, for, or against HB 3807? If not, the chair recognizes Vice Chair Harris Davila to close on HB 3807.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody who testified. I really appreciate that. And I was doing some of my own research on how Texas could support our child care workers, but also just adding to our child care resources in general. And I was blown away to find out that y'all had already been doing a bunch of that research, and that is so helpful for us. You know this, we meet every other year, so we need all the help we can get in coming up with those solutions. So thank you for the research that y'all have done, and I'm grateful I get to help in this way. And members, I'd appreciate your favorable consideration, and with that, I close.
Thank you. The committee substitute on HB 3807 is withdrawn. If there's no objection, the bill will be left pending. Is there objection?